So this week we're talking about reaching your career goals from a feminine energy perspective. How does that even work? Because if feminine energy is not about hustling, not about doing, if we're just receiving, how can that possibly get us towards our career goals? That is this week for Amplify Our Feminine Energy Challenge, week 5. So just to recap, our challenge this week is to know what our career goal is, that's step 1, and then to obsess about it. I don't mean obsess in like the actually creepy kind of medical definition of obsess, but more in the just be super aware of what your career goal is, be thinking about it pretty close to constantly is what we're doing this week. And that's not taking action, it's just thinking. Thinking about it, not even thinking about how you're going to get there. The how you're going to get there, the taking action, those are the masculine energy, the doing. But the thinking about it, the imagining that it could happen, the looking out for things related to it, those are the feminine energy. I'm so distracted by my cat right now. You can't see him. He's adorable. He's trying to mess with my camera. Anyway, where was I? Right. So the feminine energy version of this. So the idea here is that by constantly thinking about whatever your personal career goal is, that you're going to notice when chances come up. So for me this week, since this is our midweek check-in, I should possibly mention I'm a playwright. Hi, I'm a playwright, and I would like to see my plays performed. So this week I discovered a local festival looking for local playwrights who have specific things going on. And the due date for it was May 15th, which is just like 2 days from now. I found out about it like 3 days ago. And I didn't have anything that fit their rubric. But as I was thinking about it and learning about it and knowing about it, I signed up for a conference that I didn't know about, that the people who are organizing this particular festival also put on. And B, I figured out, sort of as a background process, how to adapt a play I've already written to suit their desires and needs. And so I spent 2 days adapting a play that I already had, which is much easier than writing a new play from scratch, which would take a lot longer. And I have already turned in my play. I have submitted it. Now, is my play going to be performed by this group? Who knows? But in the spirit of you miss all the shots you don't take, I took a shot. And so would I have heard about this festival if I hadn't been constantly thinking about I'm a playwright who wants her works performed? Maybe, but maybe I would have heard about it in June where it's too late, or in July when I'm attending a completely different festival, right? So being open, looking for things, not worrying about how you're going to get there. When something comes to you, you'll notice it. And also the option to be like, if you're thinking about it all the time, you're also talking about it all the time. All of my friends that I've seen in person in the last 2 days know that I'm revamping this play, right? So they all know that I'm a playwright. Okay, my friends already knew I was a playwright, but random other people didn't. You didn't, random person on the internet, unless you're one of my friends, in which case, hi. Right, but I'm talking about it with people, and then people tell me about things. I was talking with somebody about putting on a play, and I ended up talking with someone who's a stage manager, and that was great in case I want to do my own production. And while I was talking with the stage manager, she was like, oh, you know who you want to talk to? You want to talk to Brad. He's a producer of small plays. And so now I have a lunch on the books with Brad, right? Again, if you're talking about it, you're creating opportunity, you're finding a way to do it. This is sort of like when people talk about making your own luck, that lucky people are out there finding opportunities, talking about the things that excite them. Because when you talk about what excites you, people know what excites you, they talk about it with you, you learn more stuff. And that's sort of how that works. Because lucky people, lucky companies, it's not that they're usually on average. It's not that they're better than the unlucky competitor. It's that they took more shots. Pretty awesome. So that is where we are going this week with our career feminine energy challenge. Know what you want, obsess about it, and then hopefully you will see what you need to see, or people will come to you and let you know because you're talking about it constantly, and things will fall into place, is the idea. Not so much having a SMART goal, not so much taking action, not making a plan, not worrying about the how, just being focused on what you want. And yes, being focused on what you want without taking action doesn't get you anywhere. If I knew about this playwriting festival and I didn't submit a play, I definitely wouldn't get a play in the festival. But immediately going out and looking for what are some festivals I can submit to is not where I started, right? I started from a completely different place, ended up finding out about the festival, finding out about a conference, etc. And you can do the same. Also, while this was a little bit stream of consciousness, I do have a keynote talk on, it's like an hour long, on SMART goals versus manifestation. So if you like this as a concept and you think that your company would, or small business or Rotary group or whatever, if you think that you would like a keynote speaker to talk about reaching your goals in multiple different ways and how different brains do different things, hit me up in the comments or send me a personal email. I'm always around for that. And tell me how this is going for you, if this method of getting further ahead in your career does any good for you this week. And I will see you on Monday with our week 6 challenge for the Amplify Our Feminine Energy Challenge.